Okay, so this is excellent. I just made a full video about Mercury retrograde and how brilliant and perfect is it that when I went to re-watch the video, to start the editing process, I noticed that the video was not recording. This is classic Mercury retrograde. So the universe is so funny. It's so comical. But I love that it's having me re-record um, again about Mercury retrograde because of Mercury retrograde and how Mercury retrograde can affect our communications, how we express, what we're, technology, all those things. This is very much Mercury retrograde. Um, just side note, some of the classic symptoms, if you will, of Mercury retrograde is having issues with technology. So emails aren't going through, or you're having, your phone's cutting out on you, or phone calls are dropping, or the messaging isn't going through correctly. These are all classic Mercury retrograde symptoms. Like credit cards don't go through, or there's, you thought you sent something, a message, an email, but you didn't. These are all classic Mercury retrograde. Okay, so I wanted to say one more thing that was really important because when I was rewatching the video, I realized I didn't mention this really important symptom of Mercury retrograde, and it's a big one. So another very common and classic symptom, we're going to just call it that, of Mercury retrograde is miscommunication. So if you're in conversation with somebody, or you're listening to somebody, and it's very, very common to mishear what someone is telling you, or misperceive what someone is telling you, or vice versa. And also even how you're communicating. You could be communicating in a way that you're not able to get across the correct meaning of what you're saying, and so the other person is misperceiving you. So really, really important to understand that about Mercury retrograde. And side note, this is going to be going on for 3 weeks. So I wrote it down. Where did I write it? Mercury retrograde pulls out on August 11th. So for 3 weeks, you want to pay attention to anything to do with communications, whether it's in technology communications or just technology, period, the internet, emails, whatever. We've already gone over that. But as well, just as important, if not more important, like conversations and communications from person to person individually as well. Like if you're having deep conversations with someone, or there's an issue that comes up that you need to talk about, this is a place where when you're doing it under the influence of Mercury retrograde, it could just be a little bit more challenging, require from you to take a little bit more patience, have patience more with yourself, and have patience more with another. Okay, bye. So Mercury is the energy of like the human mind. So it's also how we process, how we think, how we perceive, how we communicate, how we learn. All those words are classic Mercury energy. So Mercury is also right now in the sign of Leo. Leo is also the energy of being seen, and how you express, and expressing from your heart. The creative flow, creative energy, and how you are communicating and sharing or expressing creatively from your heart. That's all Leo energy. So how I love to think about Mercury retrograde, this specific one though, Mercury in Leo, is if it's working with you more personally, then perhaps Mercury is having you take a step back, because retrograde is always going to bring you more into an internal process. So side note, if you have any planets in your natal chart that are in retrograde, you're going to experience those energies more internally, as opposed to more externally. So the retrograde energy is going to bring you in. It's going to bring you inside. And so when Mercury goes retrograde, collectively, it's affecting everybody in a process that will engage you to go internal around how you think and how you process and how you communicate. It'll just life will bring experiences to you that will engage that process to occur. And this can be a very private experience. You may be having some deep processing going on in your mind in relation to Mercury retrograde that nobody else knows about, because it's kind of between you and your own mind. And how it resonates for me is Mercury retrograde is working with us to help us take a pause. And then this is classic also. I learned this from my mentor, Molly McCord. Hashtag I love her. Check her out. She's amazing. Molly McCord. That the retrograde energy it brings us to a place of the rewords, is how she would say it. So reevaluate, rethink, um, re I was gonna say re-understand. That'd be my own word though. So just to have us take a pause and reevaluate how we're thinking or expressing, specifically Mercury and Leo. So perhaps if you're getting tripped on your words or you can't get the correct words out, which could be classic Mercury retrograde energy, perhaps Mercury retrograde is calling your attention to taking a pause and dropping back down and checking in with yourself, going internally. Are you communicating and expressing truly from your heart? And, if you're not, potentially that could be the trip up. That planet assisting you to be able to bring that to your awareness. So to me, this is a way that the astrological influence could be assisting your soul evolution. I'm a different type of astrologer. I have my own understandings and my own opinions, and the way that the energy of astrology works directly with me. And so I will have different ideas and different thoughts about it. And this is what makes me somewhat different or unique. I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks about some things in this way, but it makes sense that I potentially don't think about it like the majority of everyone else, because I do have an Aquarius moon. So I have Uranus working very directly with me as well in my natal chart. So I am somebody that doesn't, follow the grain, and that's how my energy is designed. So potentially I have the ability to bring a brand new thought into existence, for others to just see how that feels. So that's one thing I'll be doing on my channel as well. I'm going to be talking a lot about my different perceptions of astrology, and it may not align with a lot of what typical astrology is. And I feel that that could be one of the gifts that I bring, and why I'm being called forth to even share what comes through me. So, I'm an intuitive, and I intuitively work with the energy that works through me. And I've always been drawn to the stars. I've always been drawn to the cosmos. The planets, the cosmos, my star family, all of them, they speak directly through me. They're through energy. And so then it's for me to interpret that. And the more that connection became stronger, and the more actually flow started happening. So that to me is another indication that I'm on the right trail with something for myself, because of how it feels. It's like following the spark, oh yeah, keep following the trail of what breathes life in you, and brings life and breath and aliveness through you, which is really beautiful, because that to me is more like Leo energy, like aliveness. Leo is a fire sign, so, and it's also the sun rules Leo. So the like a new light, a new liveness coming through. So, yeah, so this is what I have to offer right now about Mercury retrograde. And, it's again, you're going to be feeling it one way or the other, because Mercury retrograde, it could be working with you more directly, and more in ways that if you had awareness around, or awaken a deeper process on how it's specifically working with you more attentively. So I hope that this brought some new awareness. If I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear what you think, how you feel about this, and how Mercury retrograde is specifically influencing you for your soul's evolution and growth at this time. So I hope that this was helpful, and I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful that you are here, and I look forward to speaking with you in the next video. Bye for now.